I'm not the one who decides.
You know, when I did New York Comic Con, it was just it was the first time I'd been to a convention. You know, the first time that I guess I was able to go out and meet fans, and I mean, everyone was so happy and they loved the character so much. It was just like, man, this is great. And while we're on a break, I just wanted to keep, because who knows what's going to happen with the character in the future, but I just wanted to keep the interest in the character alive. If people wanted to, I want to be accessible to the fans. If they want to talk about it and see it, I thought I'd just, do my best to be there for them if they wanted to hang out and sign some books, whatever. So we did. So I went back home to Austin, Texas, where I'm from, Austin, Texas, and I just thought, what happened was Felipe, who is the writer of the Ghost Rider comic, was in Japan. And Ghost Rider #1 came out, which is the new issues of the book. And I was in Austin, Felipe was in Japan. I was like, man, we have to do something to celebrate the fact that there's new Ghost Rider comics. So I was like, you know what? I'll just call the comic book shop and see if people show up. I was like, hey, yeah, I'm gonna stop by whatever time. Tell whoever you want. I'll stay and do whatever. And I went, and then like 250 people showed up. And people were driving from, hours away. And I was like, wow, this is, people actually really care about it and they really love the character. So I want to, whenever I travel, if I have some time, I just go to the local shop and so far people have showed up. I went to New Zealand, about 50 so odd people showed up, and I come here and there's people here. So I guess I just want to keep engaging with you guys because you are the most important part of this whole thing. Make the boat float. So I just got to be there for the fans.
That's so great.
Yeah.
You're in Italy. It's so strange to meet a famous actor in the public places. That's
well,
everyone is.
I'm just I don't know how famous I am, but it's all good. I think they're doing the Inhumans now on ABC. There's going to be eight episodes. I like that. I like the idea of like a mini series type thing that goes on. Maybe we do 8, maybe we do a full series, who knows? But I think as a series it would go really well because, as you know, right now in America we have some stupido as our president, and he keeps trying to diminish the Mexican people. He's always, the Mexicans are rapists and blah blah blah. Just a complete idiot. And Robbie is a Mexican superhero. I think it's important for him to be a representative of the Mexican American people during this time. So I think it'd be great to see a show where he's standing up for, migrant people and people in, poor neighborhoods. And Hill Rock Heights is based off of like East LA, where you have Lincoln Heights and Boyle Heights and these neighborhoods in East LA. So Robbie's the protector of Hill Rock Heights. So it's really cool. I just think it would be a great series, and it would be to have in this time when so many our quote unquote leaders are just spitting all kinds of bile about the Mexican people when they're really a hardworking, beautiful people. So I think a series right now, Ghost Rider series, would be perfect time. Netflix, I think, would be a good place. But we have shows now on Freeform. We have shows on Hulu, Marvel shows, Netflix, of course, and you have all these new Marvel shows that are coming out. So I think with the nature of the character, it's a very violent character. He kind of kills the bad guys. So I think a place like Netflix would be great because we have more freedom to do what we need to do. And because in my mind, the show is almost like a monster movie. He's a good man, but then he just turns into a monster. So if you think like old werewolf movies or old like Dracula, more like a monster movie. It would be more horror kind of elements to it. So I think that'd be cool. I think it would be really cool. They've talked about the Punisher with Jon, which would be really cool. There's I guess a dream scenario would be we get a new Blade kind of show, and we get this like cool crossover between like the Midnight Suns. You got Blade, and you got Doctor Strange, and you got Ghost Rider, and Punisher. I think at one point was part of that, or the Marvel Knights actually. Punisher was part of that series. But yeah, I think everybody wants to see a crossover between me and John, which would be kind of cool, because vengeance versus vengeance. And we'll see what happens. but yeah, I mean, it's a really vast universe, so there's so many possibilities, and who knows how they're gonna manage the Infinity War when it comes out, because people online are like, oh, you should be in it. I was like, well, I don't know, it's up to Kevin. But that'd be cool. I will take any opportunity to work with any of those guys, because they're all amazing. I mean, you got Charlie as the Daredevil, and you got Johnny as Punisher. You got Mike as this incredible Luke Cage. You got a lot of great characters, and of course Kristen, everybody else, Kristen, Jessica Jones, all the other characters. So working with any one of those actors would be really awesome. I mean, they're all really, really great, and they all take it very seriously, and that's why I think Marvel works, because we all believe in it so much that even when there's the movies, in between the movies and in between the shows, all the events of the Marvel Cinematic Universe are still happening, like while we live our lives, it's all running kind of parallel, which is kind of cool. So yeah, I think that'd be really great. How do I feel about being a Ghost Rider? It's dope. It's great. It's one of the. I mean, when I was a kid, there's a lot of danger in the character. Man. It's like he's somewhere in that moral gray area where because he does bad things for good reasons, and I love that. It's just the complexity of that, and I hope we get the chance to continue more stories about Robbie, because he's a cool character. The way he loves Gabe is so important to the story, and I think we can do a lot. I think there's a lot of interesting storylines just between the brothers. Of course, we're gonna go and do some cool action stuff and light stuff on fire and blow stuff up and be really fun. But I think that relationship is so strong that if we do more stories about with Robbie, it would be really successful, because I think that that's just. People respond, yes, the action is cool and everything else, but unless you know why he's putting himself in harm's way or trying to protect these people, why he loves, how strong the love is, that's all the most important part of any story. So I think if we get the opportunity to continue the Ghost Rider storyline, that the meat of it and the most important part will be the brotherly love in that story. And that aspect of it. So, yeah. But being the Ghost Rider is awesome.